Okay, so we're doing Tehilim 121. And I said in the description of the shiur that there's a reasonable chance we could finish it tonight. I got super tired from like the last 4 days. And so I think what we'll do is we'll analyze it the way we usually do. And then depending on where we're at, I don't want to prematurely like try to bring it to a close if there's a potential for like good analysis like next week. So we'll just see how it goes. Okay. And maybe we'll end early. We'll see. Okay, so this is the second of the so-called shiur hamalos, but this is the only one that is shiur lamalos. Again, there's going to be a big hole to do about that. All right, so the first one is in 120, but we're going to do 121. Okay. All right, so let's try translating here. Okay, shiur lamalos. How would you translate that?
So
Two.
From
Isn't lam
two, yeah, two. You could say four.
two from the
2 or 4. The malos. A sense, yeah. Let's just say a sense. Okay.
Why not?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. I don't have source sheets yet because we don't have translation yet. Yeah.
That's just to do.
Esa.
I raise.
I raise. Yeah. Yeah. So I really, literally speaking, I will raise, right? Or whatever. I raise. I'll say I raise, even though it's future tense or what we call future. Einai el harim. My eyes to the mountains. Okay, this is a very ignorant question. What exactly? How tall are the tallest mountains in Israel?
Don't know.
They are okay, fine. All right, I don't know because like I was wondering what I know. Like sometimes harim are considered like hills, and I don't. Right? Yeah, I'm not sure what this would be referring to exactly, but mountains is fine. Me ayin yavo Isri.
Where will my salvation come?
Yeah, I'm gonna say help because salvation is like Teshua or Yeshua. So from where will my help come? Okay, Ezrim im Hashem.
My help will come from Hashem.
Yeah. So it is funny, by the way. It does not say will come from, right? What happened to the spacing here?
I have a couple. I have some.
Yeah.
Harmon is like.
Yeah, that's the only one I know because of the wine.
Yeah, and then there's Harmon.
Oh, and also the pasuk. Yeah.
Yeah, Harmeron is Mount Hermon.
Yeah.
Is at 2,814.
Yeah, it's a small mountain. Yeah.
Like Harmeron is like 1,200, and like the smallest one is Harmon. 846.
Okay, yeah, right. So they're not like mountains. Okay, fine. All right, whatever. So we'll keep with mountains. So yeah, my help is from Hashem. And I don't know the difference between me'im versus min versus me Hashem. So I'm just gonna say that was from Hashem. Osei Shemayim V'aretz.
Maker of heaven.
Yeah, maker of the heavens and the earth. Okay. Al yitain lamot raglecha, al yanum shomerecha.
I'm not looking up before because we say it all the time.
Yep.
I have no idea what it means. So,
Yeah.
Do not give. I think I don't remember.
So mat I think is to I'm not sure exactly what the shortish is to shake or to falter. I'm just gonna see what the BDB says. Oopsies, not mean to click on that word. The BDB says shaking, pole or bar of yoke, shaking, tottering. So I like translating this as he will not let your foot falter. Okay, so this is the yitain means to give, but here's like allow. He won't let your foot falter. Al yanum shomrecha. Yeah. Yeah. So right. So yeah, your guardian does not now. So I don't want to say sleep because it's going to say lo yishan there. So what is it? So I know our scroll likes translate as slumber. I don't get that. Right. I don't get that though because tenuma or misnamnem or nim is not right. This might actually be an onomatopoeia. I don't know because so tenuma is a light sleep. Okay, so I think the best thing, like like when you're going to sleep. I don't know. Does not. Yeah, nap would be good, but nap is like a short sleep. Doze, I think, is the best English translation. Like, or doesn't nod off.
Like doze and a nap.
Well, nap could be like a short deep nap. Right? Yeah. Whereas doze means like a light sleep, right? So he doesn't doze. Your guardian does not doze. Yeah. Yeah, Isaiah?
One of the definitions can you hear me actually?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. One of the definitions I see online says that slumber means a light sleep.
Really interesting.
I think I'm
What?
Yeah,
No
the only,
way.
right. The only difference though is that okay, well let's get halakhic here. Okay, like the Rav says.
40 horse breaths.
Yeah, this is one of the best halakhic definitions ever of dozing.
Oh, oh yeah. I think it's if he won't answer you if you hear him. Oh, if you ask him where the keys something is, he'll tell you. But if you say, "Do you know where it is?" he won't tell you.
Oh, interesting. I haven't heard that one before. That's is that in the Gemara? Yeah. Is that in Megillah?
Maybe.
Okay, because I know this from Hilchos Megillah and the Rambam. Let's find it here.
Is it because of wait? Where does it come on?
Probably several places.
Oh, it's phone, right?
Someone's like, yeah.
Because phone's like the only.
Yeah, that's it. But
remember.
yeah, let's see.
Wait a minute.
It's
Oh,
when they're saying things.
it's
but not
because if you're
responding.
learning.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
With learning.
Uh,
If someone asks you a question. Oh yeah, it's coming back to me.
Say the birth of the Torah question.
I just made that
I'm
up.
sure you could find the Gemara if you find out.
No, because I think I
Yeah.
did this with their dad. One Shabbos, so when the Zimmers were away. Actually. And then, like, as we were talking about what's the shiur for sleeping, people were sleeping during the Chavura, for example. So it's kind of funny.
Okay, that's the last story.
Let's see here. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. So this is the Gemara in Megillah Yod Ches Amud Beis. Hechi dami misnamnim. What is considered to be dozing? Amar Rav Ashi nim v'lo nim. This is asleep but not asleep. Tir v'lo tir. Awake but not awake. Dekarle v'ani. They call him and he answers. V'lo yada lahaduri svara. But he can't give like a cogent explanation. Yeah, right. That's it. Yeah. V'chi midkrule midkar. But when they remind him, then he remembers. Yeah. Okay. Right. So it's like this very in between state. So that's why I would. So like.
High school.
Slumber, yeah, right. That's a very, very common thing for some people. Yeah, but yeah, slumber to me, that's not what slumbering is. Slumber is like, yeah, slumber could be like a light sleep, but you're actually asleep. Like you're fully asleep, but it's just light, you know?
You guys think of slumber as less than.
I think slumber is deeper.
I
Yeah, I
think
think,
Oh, yeah?
I think slumber is like deep.
Yeah.
you know, you're
Interesting.
waiting for
Like a story
slumber.
like
you know,
that.
it's
Could be,
like-
yeah, I don't know.
If you think about it from like a mumbling perspective, you're going like a slumber. Like that's.
Okay, yeah, this isn't
course,
even
yeah,
armchair
yeah.
etymology. This is just free associating
Yeah,
to
those
sounds.
pun jokes.
No, I'm joking, but like actual slumbering sound, I've always associated slumbering with like a deep sleep. Maybe I'm wrong. but-
I don't know.
All right.
Okay, anyway, but this one, we'll see. Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you the game plan. Here's the game plan. Game plan is we're gonna try and analyze it on our own, but the new approach that I found, surprise, surprise, is from the Sforno. Okay, and he does take it as a light sleep. Okay. Anyway, so hine lo yanu v'lo yishan shomer Israel. Behold.
The guardian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guardian of Israel.
Yeah.
Neither slumbers nor sleeps.
Uh,
What do you say for your new? We said does not doze, neither dozes nor
Sleeps. Yeah. Okay. Hashem shomrecha.
Hashem is your guardian.
Yeah. So I don't know if it is a noun or a verb. Hashem guards you. I would say. I'm gonna go with say guards you. Yeah. Shomer osacha. Shomrecha.
Okay.
Yeah, guards you. Hashem tzilacha al yad yaminecha.
Is your guardian? Show
I think it's the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Hashem. Yeah.
Shade.
Yeah. Shades.
Oh,
Yeah.
shades you on your right.
Your right hand. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You don't want to get right hand sunburn.
That's the worst.
Yeah. Speaking of sunburn, Yomam Hashemesh lo yakeka ve'erech b'layla.
In the daytime,
During
the sun will not.
Yeah, hit you. Yeah, strike you. Right. Smite you.
and also the moon at night.
Yeah, and the moon at night. Now you might be wondering to yourself,
When does the moon?
when does the moon strike you? Yeah. So I actually had to look this up. Someone who I was learning with, who I will not mention, because I think it's a ridiculous thing, said, you could get moonburn, and if you Google moonburn, you'll see you can't get moonburn. But yeah,
It's funny because when there was a really big heat wave in Midtown, I trying to bet.
yeah,
He
Oh,
probably
yeah.
showed the video, made a whole video about how to like
yeah.
prepare, and like and he did.
Someone showed me that- wait.
at night, and he was like doing.
Wait, who made this?
Stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Making ridiculous.
Yes, I did see that.
Like sunscreen on his feet. and-
Yeah, I saw that video. That was funny.
So,
Yeah. So Alter says nor the moon by night. He says, in all likelihood, these words refer to the danger of being moonstruck, evidently thought to be the cause of madness in ancient Israel, as has been imagined in many cultures. Okay, so like full moons are associated with like lunacy, right? Lunacy means like moon madness, loony bin, right? Like moon,
Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes, right? Yeah. So like loony means like crazy. Yeah, Isaiah.
I'm just noticing that the sun striking you thing reminds you of Yonah.
Yes, it's the same
where
word.
he's
Right.
worried about the sun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same verb also. Yeah,
You were saying lunacy because Luna, like the moon.
the moon. Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah. It comes from
moon.
moon. It comes from moon. Yeah,
Yeah, what?
yeah.
I just never put together lunacy and the moon. That's all.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, so blah blah blah. Was talking about, okay, right. Right. So I'm gonna just go with that assumption because I'm not aware of any other possible danger that the moon can cause you, unless you're the tides, in which case the moon could really affect you. Yeah, or a werewolf. Hashem yishmarcha mikol ra yishmor nafshecha.
Hashem will safeguard you from all evil.
Look at that. Still jazzed up from the rally. Will safeguard you from all. All right, now I'm going to do something specific here. So this is, I feel like this has come up before. The word ra in Hebrew is multi-meaning. So I'm going to just keep it transliterated, right? Because it could mean evil, it could mean harm, it could mean badness.
From all of it.
Right? From all ra, yishmor es nafshecha.
He will save you from your soul.
Save you
No.
from your soul. Chas v'shalom. Yeah, he will guard your soul. He will guard your soul. Okay, and the last pasuk, Hashem yishmor tzeisecha uvu'echa me'ata v'yad olam.
Hashem will guard your comings and your going.
Yep, strike that reverse. Okay, your
That's
goings
from eternity.
and your comings from, well, I guess singular, right? From now until eternity. From now until eternity. Yeah.
Could it be the Yeraf Belial thing doesn't actually mean the moon, but it's like stuff at night, which like the night.
Yeah, it could be figuratively ascribing to that. The only thing is, I think because the sun can actually strike you,
Right.
then I wouldn't like go to that assumption. But yeah, for all I know.
I think it's fair to use all this as
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But it is
That was
funny
Alter,
when
yeah.
It's like God will stop you from getting sunburned. It's like a weird.
Yeah.
We have to explain.
Yeah, right. So there is a theory which I'm only going to mention.
Oh,
Yeah.
unless you say it's like another form of like crazy, like I don't know, sunstroke is a thing too. or
Right.
something
Yeah. So
like
he
heat
actually
crazy,
does.
or like heat crazy or something like that. Like those are things.
Where
also.
was
Yeah.
suntan lotion back then?
Heat madness is something.
He does say
Yeah.
the he says by day the sun will not strike you. The dead metaphor of shade, I don't know if you've seen the dead metaphor of shade, is resuscitated in this notion of protection from sunstroke, a real danger in the semi-desert climate of land of Israel. Yeah.
So it's all the opposite, like sunburn.
Yeah, right,
There's,
yeah.
like, worse things is, like,
Right. That's
sunburn.
true. Yeah.
That would be like counter or like not opposite, but like
Yeah.
similar to moon rays.
Right. Remind me later on to share a theory that like I heard that makes this make sense, but I don't want to give it away right now.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I think that's it. I think there's one ambiguity here that I wanted to just address that I forgot to do. Okay. Yeah. So this is weird here. So there are Mefarshim, including the Sforno, who reads Gimel, the first half of Gimel as a bakasha. May he not let your foot falter. The reason why I didn't read it that way is because the second half is not a bakasha, I don't think, right? Like on the surface, right? It doesn't say may God not sleep or something, So that's why I read it as a declarative statement, but just be aware that some read it as a
Well, it
bakasha,
could
yeah.
be it's saying, may he not let your foot falter because we know he does not sleep.
Right. It could be doing that. I think what is puzzling to me is because it's the same like structure of not verb, not, and then verb, and then like, the thing he's talking about, you think it'd be similar meaning, especially because if you notice here, there's a lot of like repetition of stuff here, so it's not impossible, but yeah. Okay. Let me put this in the chat. And then, yeah.
Are we doing a pivot?
Yeah. What would you say the pivot is? I thought it was simple, but Rinny and I disagreed.
I'm going back and
There
forth.
are three. Look, two pivots.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
going back and forth, but I'm thinking, Mel, that I think if we go 1 through 4.
Really? Okay. Through
I'll
meaning
tell you what.
up until?
No, through.
Oh, through. like that.
And the reason why is that I think that overall, obviously, there's actually not. I think the whole aside from
No,
the
I
beginning
see
of
this.
three, aside from the beginning of 3, the
Yeah.
object of those 2 is God,
Yeah,
and then the object of 6, 7, and 8 is you. It has-
interesting.
Meaning like,
Well,
it's
it's
like
like 5.
Wait.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, which one is 5?
I'm sorry. 5.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. This
Yeah.
is supposed to be blue.
Sorry,
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, and 8 is the object is the person.
Right, and that's probably more evident in the Hebrew, right? Tzilcha, Yiminacha, Yikacha,
It's true that-
Yishmarcha, Nafshacha, Tzescha, Boyacha. Right,
It's true he says in 3, he'll not let your foot falter. I'm like, fine, but
right.
I don't
And
think
my
that
health, isn't that also? Into, sorry,
into.
in the beginning of time.
Right, but that's speaking in
I
the
think it-
first person.
But I think it's still like making the object God though, like
Right, right.
or is it subject? I don't know. Subject,
Subject,
object, whatever.
yes.
Maybe
Yeah.
subject then is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, I hear the I hear
was
what
going
you're
back
picking
and
up
forth
on.
about different ones.
Yeah, Ariel.
I see 3 segments here. I see 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4, and then 6, 7.
Hinge. No.
Well, I'm not there yet, but
yeah,
I'm
okay.
not sure yet. But 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and 5, 6, and the rest is like, to me the things seem different. I don't know.
You want to explain?
Yeah, I'll explain. The first couple second, just stating that God's a creator. And 3 and 4, it's almost like
number 1. I don't think what does that have anything to do with God?
it's just central, whatever. The 3, like the 3 and 4, it's just like stating. It's almost like a personal affirmation about God doesn't doze off, and like it's like it doesn't seem like a typical prayer, but
prayer.
5 and on, that's almost like specific to God and your relationship with, like, he guards you and
Okay.
that stuff.
There's a
But-
little vague. If I were to be Don Lakovskus on this, no, what I would say is okay. I can see why you lump 1 and 2 together, which I'm going to reserve my opinion until after I hear you guys. 3 and 4 is interesting because it really is describing like what God doesn't do.
Yeah, it's just a little
Right.
nonsensical, like, to put it in here. It's like it doesn't belong here. I don't
doesn't
see why it fits in.
In
Get it
Oreo-
out.
in Oreo's not-
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say scratch
Yeah.
it out. I'm
You're
just
not
gonna
altered.
use the
Yeah.
term I don't
Yeah.
understand it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is not as clear to me as it seems to be to you. Yeah, Kiva.
I want to say that up till 4.
Up till 4 is so this
Yeah,
half
even though 3
clean.
and 4 are technically saying the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's repetitive.
Yeah.
It seems like the Hine kind of starts a new topic.
Oh, so through
Like
4.
a
Okay.
new-
Like
not a
this.
topic, but a new, like, what you could say, like.
Yeah.
paragraph.
So can you like articulate what the unity is in 1, 2, 3?
Well, he's saying, where does self come from? Right, obviously says Hashem, and then he describes Hashem briefly in.
He does.
Says Hashem,
I think he.
then says he will not let your foot.
Yeah, I'm just not seeing why 3 goes in this first part instead
Well, it
of
seems like he's making a differentiation between your, unless he's, no, wait. No, never mind, scratch it.
No, I take it back.
I thought he was saying the guardian.
Okay. Yeah, Ezra and then Ayala.
Yeah, if we're to be honest, it seems like there's no pivot, if that's
Okay.
acceptable.
Yeah.
You could say that. I think there's an obvious pivot that I'm just shocked no one is saying.
Well, if there is,
Yeah.
if I had to give one,
Yeah.
I'd say it's 1.
Yeah, me too. That's the obvious one, right? It's called Q and A, right? He asks a question, and then the whole rest of this is an answer.
Right. I guess if that's allowed to be one possible, then that's.
Yeah, right. I think it's an odd pivot,
Right.
but it is very clear. Like if I, the whole idea of a pivot is, do you notice any like radical differences?
Right.
Like it's not
Definitely.
pivots should not be dependent on hair splitting unless you're like forced to, in which case question the whole theory. But like there's desperation and questioning and looking for help in the first one, and then he gets his answer and he gets his help and all the rest of it. That's where I would think it is. Yeah.
Right, just the one reason why I'd be a little opposed to that is because then it seems more like an introduction and then the whole perek, as opposed to like
Right.
one half and another.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it is strange. It's very lopsided, and that's a little weird.
I
Yeah.
still like my
Okay, you're entitled to like yours. Yeah, Ella.
I was thinking that the first two psukim are in first person, and then the next are
That's
you.
right. So that's how Rindy wanted to do it. So yeah, he actually didn't do it on that basis. I like that basis because linguistically it is different. Rindy wanted to say that the first two is, I didn't like this, but he wanted to say that the first two is the like general truth, and then these are all the particulars. Which I don't really like that. What was it?
I have another
Yeah.
reason for that. That was my second, reasoning for. I'm sorry. My second pivot
Yeah.
was that the first two is almost like making statements about God. The 3 and on is like that's almost like our relationship. Dove is pointing out what he's doing for us in a way, like in terms of
right. Yeah. No, I think that's that. This to me the clearest pivot is 1, and then everything else. This is the second clearest pivot, and then I don't buy anything else that I've heard so far. But and again, the reason why the pivot is useful is the pivot gives you something that you can then say, let's define what this is talking about, because it's clearly talking about something specific that the other stuff is not talking about. And I think David, in a state of desperation, looking to the hilltops for not knowing where his help's going to come from, and then all the stuff about God helps us are two concepts. So that's why I think that's so. Even though it's lopsided and that's unusual, I think the fact that, and not only that, we've seen this pattern in many other Tehilim before, where David is in a state of like, needing help, and then he gets the help. It's just here, it's just very lopsided. Yeah. Okay. Interesting discussion. Okay. Okay. So let's get, shiur.
Could you separate 1 and 2, because 1 is kind of like the question, and then like 2 is him talking about himself, because it's like my help is from Hashem, and then the rest of it is all you.
Okay. So this would be another
separation
potential hinge. Yeah, right. So yeah, 1 is definitely different. 2 is linguistically similar to 1 because it's still in the first person. But then 3 shares that theme. Yeah, let's leave it like this, just because this kind of references all the observations we've had. And even though you can do what you want with that. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so let's do questions now. Yeah, fine. Num. Yeah.
What's the meaning that God sleeps?
Okay, that's a good question. Okay, yeah, right. So, oops. What happened there? Okay, what is the Hava Amina?
So God, remember Christ.
Yeah, that God sleeps. Can you think of any other place that uses this metaphor of God sleeping or being awake that you know of? I'm just thinking back now, because we'll see if the footnote brings in other examples, but I hadn't heard of them really before.
Every time I try to think of something, I think of that.
I know, right? Yeah. I think part of this is like, I don't know, somehow it is very vivid imagery and like the words get into your head, but yeah, Shira.
The first thing that comes to my mind is like, it's not really sleep, but like, and Hashem rested on the 7th day.
Oh,
So
that is interesting. Right.
maybe
So,
that one.
meaning inactivity. Yeah, right. Yeah, I guess the other question that I have, and I can't remember how much of this question is being influenced by reading what the Sforno wrote. If I ask you, like, what metaphor does the Torah use when it's talking about God not guarding us?
Sorry.
Achzarius.
Oh no, that's more like.
Yeah, yeah. There's one pasuk.
Forgot or
Looked away.
Yeah, Hester Panim, right? So Hester Panim, God like turning his face away. That would be like the more common one, and that you don't have the question, what's the Havamina? Because he actually like does that, So this is a very strange. Yeah, that's taken care of earlier. Yeah, Kiva.
I just asked the obvious, why is he repeating dozing twice?
Yeah, so it's not just the dozing, right? There is a
Dozing, sleeping.
right. So someone pointed out that okay, Levi sent me this commentary that apparently is Yehuda Rappaport's like one of his favorite commentaries. I just don't know who wrote it. I don't know what it's called, and there's just really bad pictures of it on my phone, so I can't like put it up there. It's just like very where I want to get a copy of it, so I don't have to like rely on Levy's bad phone camera. But this commentary basically went through this whole like linguistic poetical analysis, which is not my thing, but it was a little interesting how like you've got like these chains here. So Esri, and then like Lo Yanum and Lo Yanum, and then shomer. Well, okay, the shomer thing is like
Yeah, the show thing is a little.
there's I think there's
I think that's a big question.
yeah, right. I think that's prominent enough as let me just get rid of all this. Hold on. It's prominent enough to be a question, which is if you highlight all the shomers, one. Why is this not working? Oh, because it's white. If you highlight in white, you can't see it. All right. Shomer, Shomrecha. I think I missed one. No. Oh,
Yeah,
Yishmarcha.
At the end of 3.
At the end of 3. Okay. Yeah. Shomrecha. Yishmar es nafshecha. Yishmor es nafshecha. And Yishmor tzeischa. So that's 6. Yeah.
So there's a lot of watching.
Yeah, a lot of watching, a lot of guarding. And it's only 8 psukim, right? 6 times 8 psukim. That's quite a ratio. Yeah,
Yeah,
Ariel?
I have another question.
Yeah.
What's the deal with the pasuk 3 and 4 with the dozing? It's a little redundant. It says it twice.
Right. That was the question that led us
Oh, you just asked that question?
both of them. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll write them down. Okay. So
I just see it written out there,
so I guess why, like stylistically, what purpose is served by the repetition, right? So the repetition of, for example, shomer 6 times, lo yanum, the repetition of that question, lo yanum, yeah.
Well, the truth is, I mean, he does add on, yeah. never mind. Those-
Yeah, Ella?
Why is he specifically looking towards the mountains?
Yes. Okay. Right. So that is.
Well,
I mean,
So,
it's
okay.
closer to Shemaiah.
no.
You say make a-
You don't want to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gondor. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna say. So what? Let's just ask a more broad question for the person. What is the scenario being described in Pasuk Aleph? Okay. And then I mean we obviously need to know I guess and by extension in the whole perek. And then in light of that, we'll ask like what is his havamina, right? Which is what is he expecting such that he looks to the mountains, right?
Well,
Yeah, let's go Akiva Chaim and
yeah,
then.
of course.
Oh, that, yeah.
That's what I was.
Okay.
Why are the examples that he's giving for what Hashem's protecting us from, like natural?
Yeah,
things
that's
that-
really weird, right?
Maybe you could say it, Hashem's guarding us, but wouldn't you just say that he made them in a way that
Right.
affect us?
Okay, I'm actually going to put that in.
Well, I mean, he's saying he specifically guards you, but then he says those things instead of like he says raw after. But
Yeah. All right. So let me. I'll make this into a separate question here.
enemies or something.
Right. Yeah. Right. So what are the raos that are being threatened here?
Well,
So just like like
Traveling,
some of these seem natural and none of them seem human, right? Like enemies, right? Which is what David usually is talking about. Do you say travel?
well,
I said going
and
and
coming,
coming,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
It seems like that's the theme. But
Yeah. Right. That's true. Yeah. Travel seems to be a theme. Yeah. Yeah. Chaim?
yeah. Kind of a 2-part question. Like, who's the audience such that in 3,
Yeah.
he says your guardian does not doze, and then in 4 he says, behold the guardian.
Right.
I mean, if he's talking to himself,
Right.
Then what's the difference between those 2 things? I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe that's my question. What's the difference between your guardian in 3 and the guardian of Israel in 4?
Okay. Yeah. That's a good pointed question here. So the question here is, what is the difference? Or I guess, yeah. What is the?
If there is a difference.
Yeah. I'm gonna actually ask. Why does he switch from your guardian to guardian of Israel? Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So and like Yeah, I'm just gonna start getting you ideas for that.
Yeah, Ezra.
Two things. First, a factual answer to the question about the mountains.
Yeah.
I think my father told me this, that he saw somebody say that they used to like look towards the mountains to see if an enemy army was coming to invade or something.
Mhm.
So he's like looking, like expecting an enemy to come. So I think that's what it means.
But it looks like he's asking.
You're looking for help, though.
Yeah.
You can have a friendly army come.
Well, it's like-
Right. Yeah. That's why I said Gondor. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
But
I guess.
yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Right. Right. So the same idea. Right. Yeah.
And also, it's a little funny. He's like asking him a question like he doesn't know, and then he goes into like a whole essay about.
Yeah, I know.
who it's up
Yeah.
I see that too,
Yeah. So I
Question.
actually I want to ask that as a question, which is like and you don't need to agree with my pivot to ask this question. You just need to like not be honest with yourself that you already agree with my pivot, which is that like why is this perek why is this chapter so lopsided, right? Like it's one pasuk of pasuk this is Hebrew of distress and 7 of like yeah of like describing the positive things that God does, right? So it's just like not usually what you see, yeah, Ariel?
Yeah, what's the raw?
Yeah, what is the raw in
What was the rows?
no, what is the specific raw that he guards your soul from?
Was it Korah?
Yeah.
Was that-
No,
it
what
was
does the
not-
word "raw" mean?
No, I know. I'm saying, but it is Mikol Ra, no?
Right.
Not from any-
Okay, so
not
what is
from
the
raw,
Yeah.
from any of the
Right.
specific raw that he
what right, so what type what is included in the coal raw that this switch is not switching, that he guards your soul from? Yeah, Chaim?
2 questions. One is context important in this? And also want, because it's a shiur malos, is that the one we said was one where he's doing the Tiyat Nevuah or
You're thinking of
or is that a
Mizmor L'David or
Shiur?
L'David Mizmor, yeah.
Okay, never mind. So, but I mean.
Oh, we do have to ask on the
Yeah,
opening
yeah,
phrase
if-
though, yeah.
if, like what's the context of this? Like what was going on?
Okay, well, so let's ask it in terms of the category here, which is that what are the shiur hama'alos, okay, and what makes this like what differentiates this one such that it is the only shiur lamalos, and how does this affect our reading of the perek? Yeah.
And another question that's kind of similar to the Rose question in 6.
Yeah.
But it seems like he really only gives you like again just the sun and the moon as bad things.
Right.
And then like so what's the emphasis on those specific bads, especially because he follows it up with the broad category of Kol Ra.
Right.
And I don't know if that was explicitly asked or not, I'm not sure.
Yeah. So yeah, you know what? Yeah, I feel like I can rephrase this question 6, but I'm kind of too lazy to do that right now. But yeah, meaning like the only 2 specific ones are the sun and the moon, and then it goes from there into this general one. But the general one of Nafshakot Mikol Ra and Bo'echa Tzeisaka Bo'echa, which is also just very general.
Right. I guess part of the question is like
Why does
if you're giving
specific ones?
if you're giving the whole category of Kol Ra, then
Yeah.
A, why do you need to have specifics, and then B, like
Right.
why are those specifics important?
Yeah. All right. I'll attack that on here. That's easier. That's less lazy than reformulating the whole question. Okay. So it's like, why specify sun and moon if it's just going to be followed with the general all Ra? Yeah. Okay.
The audience.
Yeah, you can ask who the audience is. Who is the audience, or who is this for? Okay, which may be addressed in the shiur hamalos or shiur lamalos. Yeah.
Yeah, also like we touched on like the tense switch or not or the I guess the person switching.
Yeah.
Like it's weird that again in 1 and 2 it's talking from first person and then he goes into what third person, know that is?
Yeah.
And like it's great he's not gonna have your foot.
Actually, sorry, second person.
Sorry,
right.
second person.
Yeah.
It's great that no, I'm saying your foot.
Right. Your.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
So,
talking to
like,
you.
It's great that like whoever he's talking to is not gonna have their foot altered or his foot. Like this whole thing is not talking to himself anymore. It seems like he's talking
Right.
to somebody else now, right?
Yeah. Right. So let's just ask.
So I
Yeah.
guess
Let's
that's
ask
what
like what accounts for the voice switch, or what do we do about the voice switch from first person to second person?
Yeah.
What like what do we make of the switch from first person voice to second person? Yeah. I think we also need to ask, why is Hashem being like portrayed here as the maker of heavens and the earth, right? Maaseh Bereshis, like, it's, yeah, fine, there's sun and moon, but like, there are many ways to characterize Hashem. So why is Hashem being characterized as maker of the heavens and the earth? Yeah, Kiva?
But I guess what is it supposed to be Tefilah, or is it just supposed to be something you think?
Right. So let's just go ahead and, I mean, this is kind of our function question, which is, what is the intended purpose of this perek?
It doesn't seem like it's Tefilah, it's like praise.
Right. Is it Tefilah or praise or something else? Yeah, Yitzi?
I see specifically shading the right hand.
Yeah, that's a good question. Also, that was in Pasuk 4-5. So that's before the sun and the moon one. All right. So what's the deal with shading your right hand? Yeah. Okay. I think we
I
pretty
had a
much.
follow-up
Yeah.
on question.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see her.
Well.
Yeah.
On the question about the first and second person.
Yeah.
So 2 questions. First, the factual one. Is he talking to someone when he says you, or is it like a general you?
I mean, it could be a general you. That's, I guess, part of our question of who the audience is. It is noteworthy, by the way, not that this answers our question, but it is single you singular. But that could also be talking to like all of Yisrael collectively, like Israel. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So then my second one is because it says guardian of Israel.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like the Sukkim 3 through 8 are like addressing like the nation, and like the guardian of Israel neither dozes nor sleeps, talking about like a specific relationship of like Hashem and Am Yisrael.
Mhm.
But then I think that kind of strengthens the question of why there's like why he's talking about himself.
Right.
And then he like goes into talking about like the guardian of Israel.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I think that is a good question. That's covered, I think, in several of our questions. Yeah, Shira.
Hi. Yeah. So I'm wondering, this is like kind of a follow-up to the question before Ayala's. In Pasuk 5, when it says Hashem guards you, Hashem shades your right hand, like just a clarifying question, is right hand here referring to, like, often it's referred to like strength.
Right.
So I'm wondering if like that's what that's how it's being used, and then if so, then like it just seems a little like contradictory, because like if Hashem is guarding, I don't really know what it means, like Hashem shades, but like Hashem's guarding you, so then it's like Hashem also is like protecting your strength, or like.
Yeah, right. I think your assumption is good, that right hand is like your dominant hand and your strength. But it is when you say contradictory, do you mean like mean that are you saying it's redundant that like he guards you and shades your right hand, or what's the contradictory element that you're saying?
I guess like if he's guarding you, but he's also like making you strong, but maybe they're not contradictory, and I'm just like in my mind.
Right. No, it's a good question of what both of them are doing together, though. But yeah, Chaim.
Yeah. What is the Tzeis Chaim V'lecha?
Yeah.
When is that talking
Right,
about?
where-
Yeah,
yeah,
because
where
that's
are you
some
going and coming
travels,
from?
It's not like something else.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
It's
Let's ask
And
that.
also, especially because it's me, I talk about Olam, like
Yeah.
about Olam. Are you coming and going forever?
Right,
I don't
yeah.
think so.
What do Tzeischa uvoecha refer to,
Also, when is it?
especially and when? Okay, and when, especially because it ends with olam, mi'ata v'ad olam.
Yeah.
Right. Mi'ata v'ad olam. Yeah. Okay, a lot of questions. Such as why is the switch not working? Okay. Yeah. All right. So yeah, you have theory? Oh, and one more
Just-
question? Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of the right hand and shade thing, I think
Yeah.
what's weird about it is that if you're strong hands, then like God guarding you is because you're weak. But
Mhm.
yeah, he's guarding your strong hand. It's like, are you weak or
Right.
strong?
I mean, the way I would answer it in isolation, even though this doesn't really like fit into the whole perek, is there are guardians that just protect you from external harm, and then guardians that actually empower you. Like that's like a higher level of
Oh, that's what it means, like-
yeah, like he's facilitating your ability to function, like I'm trying to think of examples of human guards who do that, like to a certain extent. I mean, this is just the first example that comes to my mind. When you say a parent or a guardian, like a guardian is doing more than just like making sure that you don't get hit by a car. Like they're facilitating your growth and development, So this is like a different kind of like shmira. Yeah.
Theories?
Yeah, let's go to theories now. Yeah.
Alright, so I want to say that
We'll
maybe-
definitely do two sessions for this. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say that maybe the scenario of this perek has to do with your struggles with keeping the right philosophical ideas.
Okay. Didn't see that one coming. Where are you getting that from?
I mean, second.
Oh, that answers everything. Okay. All right. Good night, everyone. Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah,
about
can you
Olam.
explain?
Can I explain?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was gonna-
Okay, yeah.
That sounds-
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so I want to say that he's looking up to the mountains because he's struggling internally with his relationship with God.
Okay.
Right, so he's
And why the mountains?
I don't have an exact answer for that, but maybe it's because it's like I don't know.
I think you have to show the people on.
I don't know,
Oh,
you're not
Ariel's
look
going like
down,
this. Yeah.
I don't have an
Okay.
exact answer. Let me just
Okay.
just persevere here.
Show
Okay,
more shade you are.
so he's saying that his help from Hashem, meaning he has to solidify himself, with the fact that look, God he created the world.
Yeah.
He has to give himself that chesed, okay. And what he means by he will not let your foot falter means for me it's like like your feet are your foundation. That's like what keeps you up.
Yeah.
And have you ever had like your leg falling asleep?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like so sometimes when it falls asleep, it's almost like you're like losing your balance. So he's gonna. It's a metaphor, man. It just means that like he's there and he's not going to let you slip up, and don't think that he's not that he's not around. If he's there, you just have to seek him out, right? So then in the next pasuk Daled, he's referring to, and this is where it's like I'm still a little confused about. I don't know why he needs to say it twice. Maybe one is really referring to Hashem and you personally, and the second pasuk Daled is referring to just specifically about like don't think he's not out there at all.
I mean, it does say
Really.
your guardian versus guardian of Israel, so you got a
Yeah,
basis for distinction.
Yeah, so I'm still not satisfied for some reason. But then, Hashem guards you. Hashem shades your right hand. I think it means that, there is, and this is where I'm start getting lost. But yeah, this is where I'm getting lost here.
I'm still not hearing my answer to the original. What was your initial thesis again? Say again what you think it was about.
I think it has to do with your because there are many stars. One is like physical stars, and
Yeah.
then there's like an internal struggle star where like you're going up and down.
Yeah.
So this is
So
I'm taking it.
So I'm still not hearing an answer to where you're getting that from. Okay, meaning that, like, you kind of gave the nonverbal answer for this part, And then I'm seeing a lot of stuff that has to do with physical. I'm not like, where are you seeing that he's struggling with his beliefs?
Well, he's referring to the second plus.
7's the only one that I think that I was waiting for him to say that, because I think it's the
Yeah, I
only
mean,
one.
that's the second plus. I mean, that's yeah, the second plus.
The second puzzle? How is that showing that he's
He's creating. He's saying that he created the heavens and earth. You know, like that. That's like almost like a philosophical idea.
like much of Tehilim,
Also physical idea.
right?
It happened.
Okay, I must just be missing where you're getting anything from. I mean, yeah, it was
Not,
like, okay,
and why is it just physical? I mean,
well,
it's not-
okay, your foot faltering is not talking about struggles in Amuna, right? Because it's your
I'm
foot.
using it as a metaphor.
What?
I'm using it as a metaphor.
Oh, using that as a metaphor. Okay, fine. Okay, not dozing and not slumbering and sleeping. How is that about your beliefs?
Sleeping. You're sleeping with your beliefs. Like you're not really all there internally. You're like dozing off.
It's saying God doesn't sleep.
I'm sorry. Meaning you have to all right. So
Are you-
God
why-
not
okay,
sleeping
yeah.
means that you're just not fully awake in your own philosophical ideas, because if he's sleeping, that just God doesn't sleep.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's a good
No,
point.
no,
That's not his thing, but
Yeah.
it's just like it's just how you view God based off of how you're feeling internally.
Okay. I can go with that. Yeah.
So you are in essence are the one sleeping. You internally are the one who's dozing off internally with your own philosophical ideas that
Okay.
you need to fix or work on or whatever it is.
Okay. Let me just try to steel man Ariel's position. Okay. If I were trying to say what Ariel's trying to say, this is how I would say it. Okay. I'd start with what Ezra's point is, which is guarding your soul from Ra. What is the Ra of the soul? That's false ideas. Okay. And then I wouldn't say that the psukim are referring to spiritual struggles. I would say that the ideas that he's supplying you because evidently you need them. Meaning that who do you need to tell that God never sleeps? Someone who feels like God does sleep. Who do you need to tell that like God is association of arts? Someone who is in doubt about that or is not relating to God like that.
Oh, you said much better than I did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking.
Chaim? And then I keep after that. Yeah. I'm gonna just take a note of this here.
I think like very broadly speaking, like he's kind of laying out like actually sorry, I'm gonna go back for a second. I think the end of one when it says from where will my help come? I think the help he's looking for is just in like the human condition help, like everything, like life.
Mhm.
I don't know what to do, like where's my help coming from? And then the following psukim are all talking about how if you're living in line with the reality that God made,
Yeah.
and then you won't falter and the rest. And I think like the rest of it is getting into like parts of that.
Okay. Now, when you say the human,
I mean, you can forget the human, meaning just like stom, like life is difficult and has a lot of like I don't think it's necessarily talking about like very specific things.
Okay.
Rather, it's like just talking about like life as a whole and like.
It's probably Stom life is difficult, not like the Stom life is difficult. Yeah. Stom life is difficult.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I got lost in Ariel's.
Okay, not specific dire circumstances.
Don't blame me.
I will blame you.
Okay, yeah, Akiva.
Not entirely different.
Yeah.
But I want to say that, like, shot wise, he's talking physical traveling.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Physical traveling, and that's why he's saying my purpose question was going to be has David climbed the mountain at some point?
Not that I know of, unless you're talking about going into that cave where you're talking from Shell. Yeah. But I'll give you, yeah.
I was gonna say similar though, but it's meaning that's how he's saying it is travels.
Yeah.
But I think the message of all these things that he's gonna be with you and guard you on your travels.
Yeah.
Extend to life in terms of
Right.
business, in terms of relationships, all
Yeah.
those kind of things. And I think Pasuk 7 comes in because with all those, there's external people and other nations, and let's say business demons.
Yeah.
And have false ideas coming in. And I think that's also why it's like coming and going for eternity, because as long as a nation's there, they
Right.
keep doing it. So it's not specific to one person like during their lifetime.
Yeah. So the closest thing I've seen to that theory is that commentary I was referencing from Ehud Rappaport, or not from him, but that he likes, said that Shir Lama'alos is for people who are doing Aliyah L'Regel. And when you do Aliyah L'Regel, then you have to leave your home. You have to like travel through these hazardous conditions. Go by day and by night, and there's like a lot of anxiety there. And then I saw Alter also says, he says, now I don't know who he's talking about, but he says most scholars assume that ascent here refers to pilgrimages to Jerusalem. The verb ascend or to go up is the technical term used for pilgrimage. And then he says that, hold on, just 1 second. Oh yeah, sorry, I was reading on 120. Then on 121, he says, those scholars who think that the Song of Ascents are psalms framed for pilgrims to Jerusalem see here a specific reference to the mountains around Jerusalem, and imagine that the going and coming of the last line refers to the pilgrim's departure from Jerusalem after coming to the temple to travel through the potentially dangerous Judean hill country. There you go. All this may be excessively specific. We cannot be sure that these are actually pilgrimage psalms, and the resonant language of the poem is quite general. The speaker, fearful of unspecified dangers of the sort that any person might encounter in life, looks up at the mountains around him and wonders who or what will help him. But anyway, so those are some theories that like pick up on what you're saying.
I think
Yeah.
also, just the reason why I'm saying it's physical, I'm like, Ariel, is because one of the questions is why is heaven and the earth reading in the description? I think
Right. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have to say
Physical world.
it's a physical problem.
Yeah. No, that's good.
So you have to recognize that.
Yeah. All right. No, I really like that approach. Yeah. Also, we do know that the Shir Hama'alos, the 15 of them were associated with the Mikdash and the steps of leading up. And so like, if it's associated to Lila Regel and journeying to the Mikdash, like, then that would be appropriate. I don't know if the Levim were singing this like on behalf of the people who were going, or if the people themselves would say this, but yeah, that's right. And then Isaiah after, yeah.
In line with Klein's approach.
Yeah.
I think it could be talking about like the human condition as a whole, which is a tough one, which has a lot of troubles and pains.
Mhm.
And David Malth is telling you that you have to like put your trust and live your life in line with God, the creator of the universe.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And that's the only way in which, if you follow in God's ways, that's the only way in which your soul will be perfected and you'll ultimately have a good existence. And specifically, a bit of a crazy idea about 6 is that the Gemara about the sun and the moon fighting with God about creation.
Yeah.
And Rebbe's share on that.
Yeah, I have not listened to that in a long
So
time. Yeah.
basically, general idea is that he says that, I forgot which is which, but the nimshal for sun and moon is hashgacha pratis and hashgacha klayis.
Okay.
Or no, sorry. I guess it could be the same thing. That's how you define those terms. But the laws of nature of the physical universe, and then the laws of hashgacha.
Mhm.
I think that's what he said it was. So it could be I know it was written after, but it could be that if it's possible that it's inference that then he's telling you that if you live in line with like both of those systems of reality, then that's the only way to have a good life.
Mhm. Interesting. Okay, I'll say this is a possibility. Possibly this is alluding to the fact that you need to live in line with both hashgacha pratis uklalis to have a good life. Yeah, Isaiah.
So to me, it kind of feels like this perek is actually talking about a person's soul and how it isn't affected by things that are troubling in the real world.
Right.
So in the beginning, like David is looking to the mountains, which are like, I guess, represent like a great physical thing, something like the most powerful physical thing in the world, and like wondering like this maybe isn't helping me. So then like, where is my help going to come from? So then it's coming from Hashem, because Hashem created you with a soul that it can't be affected by things in physical. It's non-physical. It's not affected by what occurs in the world, as long as you as long as you go in the derech of Hashem, then your soul is going to go to fare off well. So that's why it says like Hashem will guard you from all ra. He will guard your soul. He will guard your going and coming from now until eternity. Until eternity means like until, Olam Haba, like where just your soul is existing and like Hashem is maintaining that existence.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
And I think that's also like what it means when he says the guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps, is like he continually maintains the existence of your soul. And yeah, I don't know, to me it seems to fit
Okay.
the perek.
Yeah, I like that approach also. That we have to then, because you got two clear points in terms of the beginning and then evidence of like having made the transition. We'll have to see. It'd be nice if you could see like a distinct step-by-step progression in the middle, but I like the general direction. Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
To help, but
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if 3 through 8 can be looked at sort of chiastically.
Ooh.
Essentially says, so you will not let your foot falter, your guardian is not there. So Hashem will guard your going and coming, right? So
Yeah.
that's foot kind of thing. And from now until eternity. So why does it say it does not doze? Because the only thing that can save you from now until eternity is something that doesn't sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then behold the guardian of Israel now their dozes in their sleep. And then more generally, Hashem will safeguard you from all ra. And again, then you also need that neither dozes nor sleeps again, and then he will guard your soul. And then another reason, is because if he's guarding your soul, which is something that also doesn't doze or sleep, then the only way that you can do that is if something doesn't stop. The only way to take care of an eternal thing is from another eternal thing.
Yeah.
So okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I don't really know what to do with this yet, but I'm just noting that 5 is talking about how Hashem guards you with shade, and 6 is talking specifically about some sort of sunlight and moonlight kind of thing. So to me,
Okay, that's very interesting. Yeah. Okay, no, it's a good observation. Yeah, this perek happens to be very, and I'm not into this stuff so much unless it like contributes, but it's very lot of like literary stuff going on in this one. Like I wish I knew what to get out of that. I mean, I see repetition. That's the one thing. Yeah.
I just want to say
And then
why
IL
I
after.
don't like that one so much is because the soul aspect of this whole perek seems to be singled out with when he has to say all the ra,
Yeah.
which seems to be something different than this other ra. So if it's all about your soul, then what's the physical problems he's talking
Right.
about?
Well, because
We're saying the sun and the moon, and those are like physical things.
Yeah, that's why I'm curious about what the transition
He's
looks like in
saying
between.
from all ra,
Yeah.
which then he follows with guarding your soul.
Right. So the way
Seems like a separate-
the way I'm tempted to see this, and maybe this is just recency bias, is it's a similar move or like metaphysical gut punch, if you want to say that, of in the same way we had in perek Kuf Lamed, he's talking about being in physical like dire situations, and then you expect him to say God will redeem you from those situations, but he says no, he will redeem Israel from all of its iniquities. That like the real harm and the real cause of all your physical distress is the bad stuff in your soul, or the bad stuff that your soul has. And so therefore it might be a similar move here where like the audience of this is like stuck in this world where like the physical harms are the real harms, and then like you get punched at the end, like he'll guard you from all bad to your soul, and you're like, oh yeah, that's the yeah.
The other thing also is that like 2 things. Like, one, physical harm does affect your soul in 2 ways. One is that it doesn't allow you to perfect yourself. Right, meaning if you're caught up in the day-to-day, like everything physically is going bad. Like, I mean, the Rambam talks about it in Deus, where like a sick person can't serve God.
Right, it makes it more difficult. Right. Yeah.
And then also,
I'll come back to you. Yeah, Ayala, and then Ezra, and then I think I want to stop after this. Yeah.
Okay, so adding on to what most people were saying, but like specifically focusing on like that this is a situation of uncertainty, whether it's like what Akiva was saying that he's traveling, so literally everything is new and different. But he's like in a state of uncertainty, like wondering where to turn. And then I think that the second half sounds very grounding to me. So first, like it's talking about Hashem as the maker of the heavens and earth, and it's kind of like I thought that there was like a theme of time almost in the second half. And it's like your foot will not falter, like, and Hashem is always there, constantly not sleeping. And then that like the sun and moon, it's kind of like a pattern, like the cycle of the day. And then from now until eternity, you'll be guarded. And I feel like it's just like even when you're going to a place of uncertainty, you kind of have to remember that like the world and Hashem are outside of time and unchanging, and like reality is unchanging still.
Okay, that's good. I like that. Hold on, I'm just going to take this note here. So there is an element of a focus on the timelessness of Hashem and his guardianship versus the like cycles of time that we are in, each with its unique dangers. Yeah, Ezra?
Never mind.
Okay. All right, we have a lot to think about now. This ended up being a lot more of a digging deep than I thought. So the plan is, let's try to think about this, and we could start next time by trying to like refine one of these ideas, and then I want to show you the Sforno because it's a new approach. Okay, very good. Nice. I like the short ones. They're much more manageable. Yeah. All right, have a good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.